What has happened to Halloween? What has happened to the holiday that we all can symbolize and look at and say, well, this is a time of the year that we all sit down, we prepare our costumes, and we say, okay, we're going to go out there and just go gung ho. We're going to go to parties. We're going to, eat candy till our teeth rot out. What happened to all that? I mean, with most of these religious-based holidays, because yes, Halloween is actually religious. It's oriented to Christianity, more Scottish than some would actually take note of. There's some Eve's bits in there that, of course, follows with that said word. However, at the end of the day, people usually don't treat Christmas too much like it's actually based off Christianity either. They just celebrate just to get gifts. I mean, Halloween's all about the candy. That's generally how it is nowadays. And that's one of the sad points I'm about to bring up here. Halloween is pretty much turned very much commercial as it has done Christmas. I mean, heck, in September they're already throwing out, Halloween things up in the stores. They had all that stuff out. And nearing, I think it was the 17th or the 18th, you already saw stuff for Christmas out already. It's like they rush these holidays events out soon than they need to be. The meaning of these said holidays got tossed out the window quite a few years ago as well. I mean, yeah, you got those people who make a nickel and a dime off of props and costumes and candy. And, I mean, some people say, well, it's a candy holiday. Don't be fooled. No, it was actually dated back in the 1700s is where this holiday got originated. It had a totally different meaning as it does now. It could be, of course, me trying to dab into the whole religious thing, which I'm really not. I'm more focusing on the primary, the joy of just celebrating it. When I was younger, Halloween was being something you're not for a day. Just that's that entire escape from just giving a shit about your life and just doing something fun and crazy. That's why you have kids running around throwing shaving creams, just throwing TPs at people's houses and all that. And it's just a wild, crazy holiday. That's where the trick comes into treat. It's a fun holiday that I think that should be more exercised because of the fact that it brings out a couple principles I think that are quite important. I think a lot of kids are missing this. And so I think most of the said events of Halloween kind of died down. Now, I'm not putting no tinfoil hat on and screaming there's Black Apache helicopters out my backyard. I'm just generally saying it like this, These socialized children that we know from yesteryear, kids used to go outside, play with super soakers, and, be able to just be freaking kids, get exercise, run outside, talk to one another. That sort of died down. It's more along lines of just kids being aggressive towards one another. You got kids on cell phones and devices that allow them to communicate with one another, so they don't have eye contact anymore. The schism of communication died down a lot, so they don't really plan trick-or-treating because they sit on their ass in their houses on the phone. I mean, it's just how it is. You got kids that are just not interested in the holiday as much anymore as we used to be. It isn't necessarily because the economy's down. I mean, hell, the candy's so damn cheap nowadays. I mean, you can buy one bag of candy and there you go. That's a whole neighborhood of trick-or-treaters right there. One piece a kid, That's not that difficult to pay for. Costumes, be thrifty. Make your own damn costume. It is not that hard. I saw a lot of homemade costumes are a lot better than most of those ones you see in the store. It costs a fraction less. But, again, I digress. It's totally relevant. What I'm actually trying to get to towards the final bit of this point here is that I just miss the holiday as it once was, as it was whole. I think that Halloween was just primarily, for me, a great social experience. You get to talk to kids. They would share their costumes, and you can be this big group of kids who just went out and tried to outdo each other with trying to see who can get their bags filled the most. At the end of all of it, you pretty much had your parents scan the bags and made sure there's nothing bad or nasty in them, which, that's a given. Most back in the day, it was really not too much of a scare of that whole entire razor blade instead of a peppermint candy kind of thing. But now it's just, parents are too damn conservative or too damn, I would say, scared to let their kids out the fucking door. So at this point, you got this moral thing going here that kids have this super crazy early curfew that pretty much at the bum crack of dawn, if you're not in the house by then, you're gonna get shot on sight. It's like trick-or-treaters of the dead, man. If you're a zombie outside, you're gone. They're gonna blast your head off. But no, it's just kind of silly and wacky that, you know, how this holiday, which was such a fun holiday, I mean, it was something that no one can look at as a you know, religious based holiday at all. They just looked at it as something that could be something fun, you know. Heck, I even saw older people when I was younger dress up like in cowboy outfits and princesses and gothic goddesses and all this crap. And they used to go out and just go with their kids, dress up and have fun. I mean, yeah, you still kind of still see that today, but it's really rare. You see really tiny groups, these folks, prior to people from then who just had these parents who just had smiles on their faces and they were just so happy to be out with their kids. And now it's just, most parents have that trouble trying to reach out to their kids. You know, you kind of look at these groups of adults, they kind of don't have that social experience like they did with their parents, you know. You know, that's what I've noticed the most. It's a damn shame, really. I mean, you look at these adults to now to then, they're just too damn, I would say, out of touch with their kids. It isn't necessarily most of the time the parents' fault. It's just the fact that there's this lack of communication anymore. I mean, Halloween is a very social experience, whether you think so or not. It's also very, you know, very busybody kind of thing where you get up, you go around the neighborhood, and you just fill your bags of crap. I mean, that's the final point there as well. And I just miss that kind of experience, like being able to see people having fun without being scared for their lives anymore. You know, now you have too much of a scary thing prior to what the costumes people wear. You know, you gotta. I mean, hearing about terrorists is much more scary than hearing about the werewolf in London or something. You know, it just, the whole fear factor of Halloween obviously diminished because people came more wiser to the theme and all that, but it's more or less just the social experience of it all just dwindled and died. I mean, it's a damn shame. But anyway, what do you guys think about this subject? Personally, I wish that Halloween was as strong as it was yesteryear. I mean, some people still feel that way. It's still strong. They go to parties every year, so it's no different to them because they don't notice this around them as much. But, you know, I necessarily was not into the candy. It was just the whole, you know, being able to go out and visit new houses and seeing these crazy decorations and all that. I mean, that's the cool part of Halloween, just seeing people put the effort behind it. But anyway, take it easy, folks. If you like this video, be sure to show me some love. Take care.